So here we have the Ascen's HRM feature. So I will go to the attendance. So in attendance, we have newly introduced this shifts feature in attendance. So let us start by looking into what is this shift. So shifts are basically like you can allocate different shifts to different employees, each shift having some start and end time, and also you can create some flexible shifts. So here I will go to the add shift. So in this add shift, we have two different kind of shifts. First is fixed shift, another one is flexible shift. So with fixed shift, you have a definite clock in and clock out time with a grace time. So we will look into what this grace time is. So with a fixed shift, there will be a particular start time and an end time. But with an flexible shift, there will be no start and end time. So any employees who is having a flexible shift, he can check in anytime and also can check out anytime. But in case of a fixed shift, the employee have to check in at a particular time and also check out at the particular time. So let us create a new shift which is called as the demo shift fixed. I've created this shift. Let me have the check-in time as 10 o'clock and the checkout time as 6 o'clock, which is 1800. And I can select the optional holidays over there. Let me add a holiday at Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday. And I will click on the submit. So after I have added the shift, you can see the list of shift. It is showing me the shift, fixed shift. It is showing me the list of holidays. Here I can assign different shifts to user. So let me click on the assign users. In this assign user, I have to click this checkbox to all the users to whom I want to assign this shift. So let me assign this shift to admin and demo cashier. So here I can choose and start and end date, like for which, like what is the start date and end date for which this shift will be applicable for to this particular employee. So let us have a end date as 31st December. Similarly, we can have a start date here and let me click on the submit. So this end date is optional over here. So the end date for this shift is optional here. Let me add an end date over here. I will click on the submit. So here this particular user has been assigned this particular shift. Let us create in flexible shift as well. Demo flexible shift. So here we can assign holidays here. Let me remove all these holidays and let me click on the submit. So here we have the demo flexible shift. Let me assign some users to this particular shift as well. I will have the start date as this one. I will leave the end date as empty. Okay. So now we have assigned this shift to all these users. So when the user will log in, so when we will log in with the demo, with the admin account or with the demo cashier account, we will be able to check in and check out. So here we have not enabled the self check in and check out. So let us go to the settings over here and enable. Let us go to the attendance. Here we have an optional allow users to enter their attendance. So with this option, any users after login, he can add his or her own attendance. Without this option, admin have to enter all these attendance for different users. So let us click on this one and save it. So see, after we have enabled this one, you can see there is a new option which is present over there, which is called as the clock in. And if I will also go to the attendance here, here you can see it is showing me a clock in button over here. So if I will click on this clock in, it is asking me, it is showing me my IP address and it is asking me for the notes, clock in notes. If I click on the submit, so it is getting clocked in. So again I can clock out from here. And basically what will happen is while clock in and the clock out, it will check for the timing, like it will check for the timing for this fixed or flexible shift based on the, like based on the start and end time, based on the start and end date which we have assigned in this assign users to a shift. So here it is showing me like this. Currently it is like showing a spinner over here which is showing that I have already clocked in. I can also clock out from here. So in the all attendance tab, I can see all the different attendance for all different users. Here we are seeing attendance for Mr. Admin Essentials who have clocked in at this particular time and who has not already clocked out. His work duration is 1 second. So you can see like it's the work duration, it's dynamically changing whenever I am refreshing the page. It's showing the IP address, clock in node, clock out node, and the shift is evening shift. So here we have another shift which is assigned to this user, which is called as the evening shift. So it's taking this evening shift. So one thing is like we can add multiple shift to a user. So if suppose a user has been assigned a morning shift and as well as the evening shift, he can clock in at both the time and also clock out at both timings. Okay, so here we can see attendance by shift. Here it is showing me the all attendance. Here I can see attendance by shift for any of the dates. It will show me the different, like it's showing me the shift is evening shift, present is 1, absent is 2. So we have 2 users absent in this evening shift who have not already clocked into the system. And where you can check attendance by date. So if I will today's date, if I will select today's date, here it's showing me today's date, present is 1 and absent is 7. Here I can also import attendance. So if suppose I am using a biometric fingerprint attendance system, so from there I can export a CSV file. I can export the CSV file and upload the CSV file over here. So to upload the CSV file, you have to download the template, and based on the template, you have to enter the email address, clock in time, clock out time, clock in note, clock out note, and then the IP address. All these fields are optional here. Only thing which is required is clock in time. So let us go again to all attendance tab. Here in the all attendance tab, we have another option which will be only shown to the admin account. This option is like add latest attendance. So when this option it's useful is like if suppose in the settings we have disabled self self attendance for the users. In the settings, if suppose we have disabled, if we have disabled this self attendance which is allow users to enter their own attendance, so in this case the admin of this particular business, he can add attendance for different users. So for adding the attendance, you have to go to the all attendance. Here in the all attendance, we have the option called as the add latest attendance. If I will click on this, I will select the employee, I will select Mr. Admin. So it's showing me that the clock in time, the user has already clocked in. I can select a clock out time from here. So you can see like the clock out time, it's maximum to today's date. I cannot select something greater than today's date, like tomorrow's date. I cannot select the tomorrow's date over here. I can select the shift, like which shift is assigned, which shift the user is working on. I can assign some IP address, clock in node, clock out node. Let us select another user from here, which is Mr. Admin Essentials. Okay, here like this is the user which we have logged in, and we have logged in for this user. You can see like it's showing me the clock in time is this, and like it's clocked in 4 minutes before. So I can see the clock in time. I can like enter the clock out time over here. The shift which is assigned is evening shift. The IP address is this. The clock in note is this. The clock out note is this. So if suppose I will enter a clock out time as the current time and save this. So after saving, if I will, so here you can see like this user, it's showing me the clock in and clock out time over here for this user. So suppose I will refresh the page once again. Here you can see like this user has already clocked out, so it's not showing a spinner icon over here. So that's all in the attendance system. So like we have complete feature, you can assign, you can create different shift, like fixed shift, flexible shift. You can view all attendance of different employees. You can view attendance by different shift. By using this you can know like for today's date in this particular shift how many users are present, how many users are absent. And you can also view attendance by date, like for this date how many users are present, how many users are absent. You can import attendance which you receive from any biometric fingerprint attendance. You can like also in the settings section we can enable the self clock in and clock out for attendance. Another thing which we will look into in the attendance is grace time. So grace time, it's a very useful feature. So it is useful when we are using a like fixed shift. So if suppose you are having a fixed shift over here, and so we have already created a fixed shift over here. The clock out time is 10 o'clock and the end time is 18, which is like 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. So what actually happens is most of the employees, like they will, some employees they will reach early by like 5 or 10 minutes. Some employees they will reach late by 5 or 10 minutes. Like no one can reach at a very particular time and clock in at the system. So with this feature like grace time, we have like grace before check-in. So with this grace before check-in, like it's a, this time will not be counted as an overtime. So what happens is like if we have assigned the start time as 10 o'clock, but if suppose a person reaches the office by like 9:50, then he can using this feature he can already like using this feature like he can already check in into the system. And using this grace after check in, like if suppose we have assigned 10 o'clock but a user reaches like by late by 10 or 15 minutes, then by using this feature he can like he will be able to check in into the system. So he will be assigned a grace time of 20 minutes. Similarly, with the checkout time, like we can assign some grace time for the checkout. Like the user he can check out 20 minutes before in the system, he can also check out 20 minutes after the end time. So this is very useful feature like grace time, grace before check-in, grace after check-in, grace before checkout, grace after checkout. So that's all in the attendance feature. Hope you find it useful.